All right, we've talked a lot in this show and most shows we do each day about illegal immigration, but what is the end game for Democrats? Have you thought about this? And for the globalists who are allowing the greatest country in all of history of the world to be destroyed by invaders? My next guest has a theory that the left is setting us up for the apartheiding of America. I want to welcome in former Missouri State Senator and my current husband, you put that in the prompter, John Loudon. Welcome to the show. You know, sometimes I get ideas from people every day. And sometimes people have really, really amazing thoughts that no one else has said to me. And that person was you the other day. Lay out for this audience how South Africa was destroyed and how the left plans to do this to the United States.
Well, South Africans woke up one day and learned that they were racist. They had had a robust guest worker program for generations that had tribal folks from around the region, from all across Africa, coming to South Africa for the great economy and the jobs. Now, unlike the United States, where if you're born here, you're a citizen, in South Africa and the rest of the world, you can be born in a country and still not a citizen. Your parents aren't citizens, you're permanent guest workers. And so they were told all of a sudden, that's a racist system. You need to make all your guest workers citizens and give them voting rights. And there was world pressure, world boycotts, and every South African citizen, black, white, Asian, it wasn't an all-white country. They had citizens who'd gone through the process from all over the world, all colors, but they were told, your guest workers, everybody living on your soil, needs to be made a citizen and given voting rights. And overnight, they were dead.
Yeah, we all know. You know. We all know how that story ends, and it's certainly not the direction we want to see America go. But do you think this is where the leftists got their playbook? Do you think this is why they decided to suddenly start ushering people across our border at this breakneck pace by the millions? Do you think this is why they are demanding that non-citizens be able to vote in our elections? Do you think this is why they've done all the division between the races and the genders and the economic levels and all the rest of it? John, was this the plan from the very beginning, or do you think they just sort of got a whiff of themselves and thought, ooh, a lot more money and power for us, and this is another way to take us to totalitarianism?
Well, you only have to look at what they've actually done. It's really not that complicated. For the history of the world, if your country was war-torn and you were a refugee, you went to the nearest bordering country and waited. They had camps. The world kicked in aid and tents and field hospitals to help you. And when the war was over, they moved you back in. Somewhere along the way, they decided that if your country's war-torn, you can seek refuge anywhere in the world. It's a free pass to any Western nation. And guess what? The U.S. is taking way more than our share. The other thing they've done is the very first act of Nancy Pelosi when she retook the speakership was to file House Resolution 1 that would give voting rights, citizenship, and voting rights to illegal aliens. It's a mass amnesty bill. Now, the really scary thing is the numbers. If you take the Biden vote tally, 6 million more than Trump tallied, we're talking 15 million illegal immigrants already, and 2 million of those came in just this year. So before Biden's done, we expect to be 20 million. That's almost 4 times the margin, but we're just getting started. If they're going to give amnesty to illegals, what about those that are here legally on green cards? That's 75%, that number. So we're talking 30 to 40 million non-citizens suddenly becoming voters overnight, and it's game over. And you can forget the presidency. Let's take Georgia. I looked at Georgia. $10,000 or 10,000 votes was the margin in Georgia. There are almost 400,000 non-citizens in Georgia. So every statewide office, the U.S. Senate, the House, it's all gone. It's all taken over.
You know, we played that clip a little earlier of Karine Jean-Pierre saying that, you know, we need to come up with a plan. It's just that we've had this overwhelming people fleeing communism. That's the actual problem. So we need to come up with a plan. Quickly, if you would, because I kept MTG way too long. I'm sure you don't blame me for that. But quickly, is this the plan?
Oh, absolutely. 100% that's the plan. And if it wasn't the plan, why is there absolutely zero discussion about stabilizing these countries and returning people to their homelands? You never hear mention that. So America has to stand up, know this is probably the plan, and it might be the plan before 2024. And,
that was the other question I asked you when you brought this up at home. Are they going to pull this off before 2024? And your answer shocked me. You said they could. And that was really...
Yeah, absolutely.
Really scary. I wanted to ask you, can you tell people what they can do about it? Because you are absolutely fighting for both citizen voters and for election reform. These are really important things, John. Can you tell people where they can go to learn more about the projects that you're on?
Yeah, AmericanVoterAlliance.org, AmericanVotersAlliance.org, and also CitizenVoters.vote. Those two, we're working to make sure you have to be a citizen to vote, and people have to reject firmly and vehemently any effort to give legal voting rights to non-citizens, legal or illegal non-citizens. They have to go through the process to become citizens if they want to become real citizens and vote.
And the American Voters Alliance, is that on Instagram or is that other places as well?
Yeah, that's everywhere. That's the website, American Voters Alliance. Protect My Vote on Instagram. You can find it all on the website.